Hello everyone. The story I'm going to share today is a test for the monks. Inside the temple, all the monks were conducting a retreat. There was a stillness in the meditation room, and only the old master knew clearly that 40 monks who participate in this retreat had reached the last level today, the life and death test. This life and death test is also known as the last test. The master hoped that all the monks could smoothly pass today's test. A moment later, there was a noise outside. It turned out that a monk who watched the door of the temple was arguing with a young girl. The master gently opened the door, trying to give them advice. But the girl took advantage of the situation and suddenly broke into the meditation hall. At the sound of the door opening, the 40 monks opened their eyes almost simultaneously, and they were stunned by the beautiful girl in front of them. Standing in front of them was a slim girl with a charming appearance. Her gaze swept over every monk with a gentle smile. The smile was charming enough to impress everyone. Seeing her was, in their lifetime, unforgettable. At this time, the master asked, "May I ask why you enter our meditation hall?" The girl replied, "Amitabha, knowing that all the masters are here on the retreat, I'm here to donate a pair of shoes for each master. Master, please be compassionate in fulfilling my wish." The master said, "In this case, please leave shoes here, and I will distribute them to all after we finish the meditation." The girl shook her head with a smile and answered, "I vow to put on the shoes for each master in person. Master, please be compassionate and help me in fulfilling my wishes, and also in fulfilling the unspeakable wishes of each master." The 40 monks heard that the girl wanted to put on the shoes personally. All of their hearts were pounding, and their faces were full of joy. The master sighed and said, "If that's the case, please go ahead." The girl walked with a lotus step, bowing and placing shoes on each monk in turn. Her beautiful face and soft hands made every monk secretly think, "It would be worth it to die if I could stay with this girl for a day." After the girl put on the shoes for all monks, she was ready to leave. But she found the meditation hall was locked. She turned her body to ask the master, "I would like to know why master locked me in here." The master replied coldly, "Do you still plan to go out today?" The girl answered, "Yes, I have fulfilled my wish and I should go home." The master said firmly, "Do you know, you can stir thousands of rivers, but do not stir the cultivator's heart. Today you disturb the minds of 40 monks in my meditation hall. Do you think you can still go out alive?" The girl asked with panic, "I came here to donate the shoes to the monks. If the monks' heart were moved by my beauty, is it my fault? Be quick, open the door and let me go out." The master responded decisively, "No, you planted a seed of evil today. And now there are only two possible paths in front of you. Your first choice is to reincarnate 40 times into female body and marry these 40 monks whose hearts were moved. Your second choice is to die here today, breaking the courses of 40 reincarnations." The girl looked very scared and knelt on the floor, sat with tears in her eyes. "So there's no other choice?" The master replied, "No, you have only two choices. Because giving up lust is very important for these cultivators." With trembling hands, the girl took off the silk ribbon attached to her clothes and said to the master, "I will leave the world with this silk ribbon together with my life to pay back the sin. I would rather end my life here than to reincarnate 40 lives with female body." After she finished the words, She slowly walked to the outside and very soon ended her life. The face that used to be as bright as diamond had now become pale and cold. Looking at the scene, the monks all regretted their lustful thoughts. 3 days later, the girl's body began to smell rotten, and her cheeks also changed color. The master acted as though nothing had happened. He still watched the 40 monks do their meditation every day. More time passed, and the girl's body gradually corroded and emitted a disgusting stench. The monks could not stand it anymore, and they asked the master to remove it and open the doors and windows to let air circulate. But the master still sat silently in his usual meditation. A few days later, the carrion on the corpse fell off, revealing horrible white bones covered with maggots. The 40 monks could no longer control it, and they died almost simultaneously. At this time, the master slowly stood up and said coldly, "Does everyone want to go out?" All monks replied in unison, "Yes, we do." The master said, "Who can answer my question? Who can go out?" Then he pointed to the girl's corpse and asked, "Who is she?" The monk stayed speechless. The master raised his voice higher and repeated, "Please tell me, who is she? Was this girl who captivated your heart?" They all replied, "No." The master continued, "Do you still plan to stay with her for your life?" The monks answered in unison, "No." The master still continued, "Is there any girl in this world that can touch your heart anymore?" All replied, "No more." The master waved his hand and said, "Okay, the retreat is over. Let's go out." The girl's corpse was covered with a piece of yellow cloth. Some monks carried it to outside and put her on the ground. But they did not leave. They were confused and very much wanted to know who she was. After all monks worshipped the girl's body 3 times, the master said, "I know all of you wanted to know who she is. You just look at her yourself after I'm gone." Then he went back to his meditation room. At this moment, monks went to take off the yellow cloth, and they were all shocked to see there was no girl's body anymore. Instead, there was a statue of Bodhisattva Guanyin from their temple. Now everyone understood that everything was evolved by Bodhisattva. There was the test for all 40 monks. The monks took the statue back to the temple and put it in its original place. And they hurried back to ask their master, how could he know all of this? But as they entered his meditation room, they found their master had already passed away. This story tells us that cultivation is very serious. As a cultivator, one should not be fooled by the superficial phenomenon of the human dimension. Face the vast world and remain unmoved by all kinds of temptations. Only by constantly purifying yourself can you complete your attainment status. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.